important job made by the director Deco, who's been extending basically all the contracts at the club. Ciao guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here today from Bilbao, all set for the Europa League final. Man United, Tottenham, a big game, but also many news to share from Gyokeres to João Pedro, Raphinha and much more. Let's jump into it together. We're ready to go with the Europa League final, but also with all the updates on the transfer market. I'm in Spain, and today I want to start from Spain, from the champions of La Liga, Barcelona, because after Hansi Fleick signing his new contract today at Barcelona till 2027, so the agreement was done, and today will be official. Probably while you see this video, it's already official. The next one will be one of the superstars of Barcelona, Raphinha, set to put pen to paper till 2028, so one more year. Compared to the coach, compared to Hansi Fleick, everything agreed between Raphinha and Barcelona. Important job made by the director Deco, who's been extending basically all the contracts at the club in the recent months, and now Raphinha will be the next one. So agreement on the salary, agreement on the project, on the view for the future, and so Raphinha is staying till 2028 at Barcelona. Very good news for Barca. Staying in Spain, someone is leaving, and this is Lucas Vasquez, one of the most important players in Real Madrid dressing room in terms of leadership, in terms of history at the club, is leaving the club at the end of the FIFA Club World Cup, because Lucas Vasquez will still represent Real Madrid at the World Cup. That's the current plan at the moment, also because Dani Carvajal is returning from an injury. Let's see what happens with Trent Alexander-Arnold in terms of availability for the World Cup, but then Lucas Vasquez in July will be a free agent, and his contract will not be extended, while Luka Modric is hoping to stay at Real Madrid, waiting for club final decision. Lucas Vasquez is leaving the club as free agent and gonna try something different. Then guys, it's important to update also on the Real Madrid rumors regarding Enzo Fernandez. There is this story around in the recent days and hours, again and again, for Enzo. What I can guarantee to you guys is that the position of Chelsea on Enzo Fernandez is very clear. Since the start of the season, even when the moment for Enzo was probably not the best of his career, not a great start to the season, then from November, December, it completely changed. He started to perform in a fantastic way once again, and Chelsea believe that Enzo is absolutely crucial player for this project. So they are not discussing Enzo exit, they are not even giving a formal price to the player. They trust Enzo, they believe that Enzo, Moises Caicedo, Cole Palmer, the quality in the midfield for Chelsea is elite. They believe this is one of the best midfield for present and future in Europe, and so Chelsea have no intention to entertain discussions for Enzo Fernandez. Also in terms of update news, Real Madrid have not made contact with Chelsea for Enzo Fernandez. There is no discussion, no negotiation at the moment, so in case it changes, I will let you know, but at the moment there is nothing really concrete into these rumors between Enzo Fernandez and Real Madrid. The player can be appreciated for sure, but for Chelsea, he's absolutely crucial part of the project. Then guys, it's important to mention also what is happening with the strikers, because the strikers market is going to enter into important stages in the next days and weeks. Again, we're in Bilbao, Man United are busy with the Europa League final, but this final is not just a trophy, it's also the possibility to enter to the next Champions League, to generate profit, extra money, a higher budget in terms of investments, and also the possibility to attract players with Champions League football. So one player is already going to Man United, and this is Matheus Cunha. Here we go, is coming soon, it's just a matter of time. Everything is agreed, exclusive story on Monday, between Matheus Cunha and United on the contract, so Cunha will go to Man United. We wait for the formal steps and for United to approach Wolves, but Cunha is going to be the first signing of this summer transfer window for Manchester United. £62.5 million release clause for Cunha to wear the Red Devils shirt next season. Victor Gyokeres remains a target for Man United. There is also Arsenal, for sure, in the race. All the clubs are informed on the possibility for the player to leave for something around the 65 million euros, as I told you. So forget about the 100 million euros release clause. 65 million euros can be enough to sign Victor Gyokeres this summer, thanks to a pact between the player, the agents and the club. Now, Man United, after the final, will understand which kind of striker they can afford this summer. Gyokeres is the dream target. Liam Delap remains an option in the list for £30 million relegation clause. So Delap, Gyokeres, many opportunities. And again, Arsenal also looking for a striker. Yesterday I told you about Benjamin Sesko. Šeško. Let's see what happens also with Gyokeres. Arsenal will be very busy also with the winger, so this Gyokeres situation will enter into important stages soon, but Man United are still thinking about him. And then, about strikers, today one more exclusive story is about a very interesting striker. Can play as a number 9, also behind the striker in several positions. Very versatile player, very interesting player, and is Brazilian. Is João Pedro at Brighton. Because the information I can tell you today is that João Pedro is seriously considering to leave Brighton in the summer transfer window. There is a strong and concrete possibility to see the player leaving already this summer. Why? Because the player is now open to a new opportunity. There are several clubs looking for that kind of player, an attacking player, but also with quality, with the ability to link up with the rest of the teammates. So there is concrete interest in João Pedro. Let's see what happens with Brighton. We know, if you're following the transfer market, how tough, how complicated it is to negotiate with Brighton, especially when it's about important players. Meanwhile, Brighton have closed their first signing of the summer, Oliver Boscagli from PSV Eindhoven, free transfer, everything signed, everything agreed. But for João Pedro, let's see what's going to be the price tag. We can imagine something around probably 70 million euros. But again, this is going to be up to the club, up to Brighton. For sure, the interest in João Pedro is there from several clubs. We know all of them we mentioned, from Man United to Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. Also Newcastle were interested in João Pedro a few years ago before he joined the Brighton. So the situation is going to be very interesting for João Pedro. One to watch, because the player can be ready to try a new chapter, and so a very interesting situation to follow in this strikers market now about to enter very important stages. And so guys, let me know your thoughts on all these stories. We go from Victor Gyokeres to João Pedro, but also Raphinha staying at Barcelona, Lucas Vasquez leaving Real Madrid, many movements around Europe. As always guys, remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell for all the latest. As always, you can see we have many things to say, and see you soon here on the channel with Fabrizio. Ciao! And just to finish on strikers, guys, we know the desire of all these clubs have been mentioning has been Alexander Isak, a fantastic striker who had an incredible season at Newcastle in terms of goals, in terms of trophies, in terms of assists, the top strikers. But the message coming from Newcastle is very clear, especially in case of Champions League football, and that's the hope, the expectation at Newcastle, but just in general, the very clear idea of the owners, of the management, of all people at the club is that Alexander Isak will be part of a Newcastle squad also next season. So it's been the desire for many clubs, for example Liverpool. Liverpool had some contacts at the beginning of the summer transfer window, so it's not started yet officially, but let's say from April, May to understand the situation of Alexander Isak. But the message was very clear from Newcastle, they don't want to sell the player. Same for Arsenal, he's always been the #1 desire for Mikel Arteta, but they understand that probably is not going to be possible this summer unless they do something completely crazy in terms of transfer fee, in terms also offer to the player. So not an easy deal at all. This is why Arsenal are looking at Šeško and Gyokeres, Man United are looking at Gyökeres, Delap. For Chelsea there are several options for the new striker, and so it's going to be full of movements this summer of strikers.